I'm really excited to play more of this, even though the game does nothing but break my heart and cause me intense misery and sorrow. I have cried. I have cried. So, last time we were here, basically the worst possible things have happened. The hydroponics lab was destroyed, so our food sources, I don't know what we're going to do. Our mom is dead. Mom died from malnutrition and overwork. Pretty bad stuff. And the insult to injury of it all is that everything she worked for is now gone too. So like everything she worked so hard to keep working and functioning got destroyed anyways. She could have, I don't know, enjoyed her last few minutes, hours, days, weeks, whatever, with us. But, how could she know? How could any of us know? So here we are. The governor, Udicott, is also dead, so Seek has taken over their place. Our dad, I'm sure, is struggling, as we all are. Kombucha is dead. We really liked him, so that sucks. Oh, the game needs... Oh, thank you, guys. I always forget. Thank you. Thank you. There we go. Thanks, guys. So yeah, Udicott's dead. An enemy's brother, Kombucha, is dead. And basically, the whole colony has been destroyed. We can't do anything. So, I don't know. Let's just look around, I guess. Mars crossed her arms and sulks. What's the point of having all these kudos if I can't actually use them to, buy stuff we need? Hello, it's not like I can mail order more supplies through the wormhole. Tangent frowns. I just don't understand, she says. Why now? Why does it keep getting worse? Boy. Boy, do I feel ya. Frickin' preach, girlfriend. Alright, Dis, what do you have to say? The stream... Dis is examining a bit of rubble, turning it over in his hands. I wonder if we're ever gonna find, alien tech. Wouldn't that be cool? Yeah, it would be pretty cool. Cal, how you doing? I know it's hard, Cal says, fiddling nervously with a tassel on his shirt, but I just think, what would your mom do right now? She wouldn't complain, that's for sure. What I wouldn't give to hug my mom. It's been hard to talk to your dad about everything. Losing your mom, then losing the colony right after, it's too much to take. Neither of you know what to say. Yeah, this game's supposed to go on for another 5 years. Does this always happen? Was it just a random event that we got unlucky with? Is it planned? Is it scheduled? Could it have happened earlier? I don't know. I don't know. Let me make sure we've talked to everyone. Okay. I wanted to be there for an enemy, but I guess we can't. Engineering is crammed with families and what belongings they've salvaged from the destroyed living quarters. You could spend time in your crowded temporary lodgings in the classrooms or help the adults try to fix for things. What if we register for engineering classes? Guys, now's the perfect time. So mourn, I assume just lets us reduce stress. I guess we got to rebuild. Toughness, organizing, kudos, and stress. But we've got low stress. Let's work on it. Nothing to do. Got a patient, but I can't wait to get traumatized by the VoD. Yay! I can't wait to make your life more interesting. I'm not going to say worse because this is just a good story. The first month of quiet passes, each day plodding one after the other. You still have trouble sleeping in the classroom barracks, but there's nowhere else to go. Every day you wake with the others and try to make the best of it. Grief and anger come in waves, not just for you, but for everyone. Some days are better than others. You're assigned to help rebuild the walls. The first part of the month is spent just dragging away the wreckage, sorting it into salvage or recycling. By the time that's done, crews disassembling parts of the stratospheric have delivered enough salvage that you can begin work patching up the walls. A sense of urgency permeates the crew. After everything, people need to feel safe. Dis is on the work crew with you, something he does begrudgingly. Walls didn't help the first time, he grumbles, whenever anyone asks for his opinion. We should just tear them all down and live like the animals do. If someone planted a bunch of my buildings on my land, I'd be pissed too. I'm not gonna be how I am when I played friggin' Dice Folk. I'm not gonna drown myself in the misery and the doom and gloom. We're gonna work hard. We're gonna fight out of this. By the end of the month, you've made noticeable progress. There are other priorities and not a lot of construction material, but when last year's mushwood harvest is done drying out, you'll be able to do more. Even if Dis is right that it didn't help the first time, it's better than nothing. Let's go. Alrighty. Ooh, we got some stuff here, so we can do a 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Seems pretty straightforward. We got good stuff from the Straits. We're already making good use of the destruction of the strato memory, but we have good memories too, like thinking about a float cow and some cotton candy. Oh my. All right, and hey, we got more toughness, sort of. Never mind, we don't because we're starving. Oh man. The suns finally dawn again on your birthday. You wake early and climb to the top of engineering to watch the first sun's watery rays break the horizon as the wormhole recedes across the sky. Dawn should represent hope after a long period of darkness, but this light only reveals the full extent of the damage to the colony. 1 second. I also forgot to move my dumbass face. Go away, face. I need to work on my overlay, so I don't have to do this every time. Somebody remind me to be better about my overlay. You've been having trouble sleeping, like most people. It's hard to find rest crammed into the classroom with all the other kids and their families. And every time you close your eyes, you see... you shake your head to clear the memories. You pull your blanket more tightly around your shoulders. Not your blanket. That one's gone. And stare out as the sun rises on the horizon, meager and sickly. Hey, kiddo, you hear when your dad comes and sits down beside you. How's looking for you? Nice view, huh? At least we got a rooftop patio out of the deal. He laughs a little at his own joke, then just sort of trails off with a sigh afterward. Oh man, that's like my catchphrase. If a catchphrase could be more generalized, it's make bad joke and then sigh and trail off because you don't know how to talk. He puts his arms around your shoulders, and you sit in silence for a while, watching the sunrise pick out all the broken glass littering the fields, glimmering like a field of stars. What beauty in the destruction. Neither of you really know what to say. It's clear your dad feels like he has to give you a pep talk, but there's an oppressive nature to the silence that makes it feel impossible for either of you to start. Eventually, he just sighs and his shoulders slump. I know things seem pretty bad right now, he says, squinting into the sunrise. It sounds like it's taking all of his effort to not cry. But it'll get better. It has to, right? You're not so sure. At least your mom wasn't here to see this, he mutters. That's the silver lining, I guess. Oh, Dad. I'm struggling too, man. You watch the sunrise together for a few more minutes. After a bit, your dad musters up a brave smile and pulls out a little box tied with a piece of gardening twine. Happy birthday, my little rutabaga, he says. Aw. You know what it is before you open it. Your old medallion, the one your dad made, with the sun on it to represent Earth. It was broken during the attack. In all the chaos, you didn't even notice, but your dad did and made you a new one. Oh, it's just like you remembered. A similar design with a wormhole this time to represent Vertumna. Wow, +5 to all challenges. That's extremely good. You thank him and squint out at the swirling wormhole, still barely visible in the brightening sky. It's so massive and awe-inspiring this time of year, but it always seems to herald disaster. You're happy to watch it fade away into the daylight. Your dad slaps you on the back. What a birthday, huh? Here's hoping they all get better from here. I love him so much. You both head back downstairs to the wreckage of the canteen, where they've put up temporary roofing with whatever tarps and scraps could be found. The colony nanoprinters, the few that still run, have been working day and night to replace the necessities of life, but larger construction projects are going to take some time. Aunt Anne has coaxed the kitchen nanoprinters into making soy gruel and pressed bars. Life-sustaining, but depressing. You and the other colonists eat your breakfast in stony silence as you mentally prepare for the day. Chief Administrator Seek has taken over as interim governor until the council can elect someone new. Last week, they held a mass funeral for everyone who died. There's talk of turning the Stratospheric's destroyed front half into a memorial shrine after everything useful has been salvaged. There's still so much to do. Okay. We're going to be fine, right? We're going to be fine. Let's take a look at our gear. +5 to animals and to flushes. +10 combat, +2 to combat challenges. How useful is that going to be? I think +5 to all challenges is a little bit better. So we're going to take... Oops. Yeah, I think that's good. All right, let's talk. Anybody here want to chat? Want to lighten some moods? A little levity? This wretched planet, Mars grumbles, gazing at the wreckage of the Stratospheric. That was my ship. We're all handling it in our own ways. Tangent paces outside the engineering wing, the only building still standing. With everyone living in here, there's barely enough room to think. Dis is sitting on a pile of rubble, looking out over the colony wreckage. He doesn't look particularly sad. What do you want? Well, not to hang out with you any longer. That's for damn sure. I know it's hard, Cal says. Okay, that's repeated dialogue. What's up, Dad? Same thing. All right, I guess we just got to get back to work. Nothing to do but to do. Let's rebuild. Let's keep going. We got nothing to do. You're assigned to help out geoponics. The agriculturists have been hard at work trying to salvage what they can of the ruined fields and the destroyed greenhouses. But there's still a lot of work to be done. Your dad has taken over as chief cultivator. Succeeding your mom was already difficult for him, and now there's this. He's never been the kind of guy to hide from hard work, but he's been pretty distant lately. Cal's working in geoponics too, of course. He smiles when he sees you. Hey, Popo, there's lots of stuff to do. What do you want to work on? I'm going to rebuild the animal pens. The pens only suffered minor damage during the attack. Weirdly, most of the damage seems to have come from inside the pens, as if the normally tame animals had been stirred into frenzy. Tangent is also here, though it's not to help hammer and nail things. She's studying the animals, trying to figure out what could have influenced them. She takes blood and hair samples and readings with some sort of complicated brain scanning device. Interesting, is all she says, not explaining her findings to you or Cal. Everyone is worried that this will be the final nail in the coffin for your food supply after the famine last year. You try not to think about it too hard, instead focusing on just doing what you can to help rebuild. I'm hoping, animal products are good, right? Animal products are good. All right, so we can do a 5, a 4, a 4, a 3, and a 1. It seems pretty good. So we got the 5 here, the 4 here, 2 4s next to one another. What if we do... What if we switch that? Oh, that's better. Is it because of the straight? Yeah, I guess it's because of the straight. Okay, that's cool. I like figuring things out. So having a straight is better than having two pairs next to one another. Okay, that's good to know. We're always learning here. I don't see what kudos are going to do me, and I've got so many of them. I'd rather get the best score. Like I need those extra points because we're losing so many points. Ooh, we're almost at a point where we can get more toughness. That's really good. I wouldn't mind. I would like more organization so we can get another gear slot too. You're eating in the mess tents when you hear something rumbling. Your bowl and cutlery start rattling. People look around in alarm. Could it be another attack so soon? You begin to hear shouting from outside. Someone runs into the tent. There's something falling from the sky, they shout. It's on fire! You join the crowd of people leaving your temporary structures to gather in the colony square. People are squinting up into the milky, quiet sunlight, pointing and gesturing wildly. Is it another colony? It's impossible to miss this thing hurtling towards you from space like a great big ball of fire coming straight for you. Is this it? Is this the end? After all you've been through, a meteor's going to land in the middle of your already ruined colony and kill you all. It's another colony. The heliopause. Mars grabs your shoulder. It's another ship, she exclaims. Look, it's another spaceship from Earth. Excitement ripples through the crowd. Could it be? You stare up, unbelieving at the rapidly approaching ship. The flames of its entry into the atmosphere dissipate, but a thick column of greasy black smoke trails behind it. Soon you can hear the whistle of it rippling through the atmosphere at terminal velocity. It's coming right at us. That is not a controlled descent. Whoa. That is not controlled. It's an enormous ship coming at you way too fast. The ship's reverse thrusters fire, trying to slow it down so it doesn't smash into a billion pieces when it hits the planet. Everyone scatters to take cover. You crouch behind some rocks, throw your arms over your head, and squeeze your eyes shut. You hear the massive spaceship touch down in geoponics, plowing through the fields and grinding over what was left of the greenhouses. You're thrown to the ground from the force of the impact as shrapnel and small rocks zing past your head. It grinds along like some roaring monster, cutting a great scar through the colony and kicking up an enormous cloud of dust. Whew. I really hope some of their stuff is working, because we lost a lot of systems when our ship touched down. So that clearly wasn't a good crash, good landing. But I don't know. Maybe something good will fucking happen. Finally, the ship comes to a creaking, shuddering halt. Any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. Very true, Lemon. Very true. And I'm surprised it didn't land on us, knowing this game. You and the other colonists carefully crawl out of your hiding places, coughing and rubbing your eyes. The new ship is half buried and obscured by dust, but you can tell it's from Earth. You squint to make out stenciled letters. Heliopause. A hatch opens in its side and silhouettes begin to emerge. Silhouettes with guns. Soldiers march out of the dust and quickly surround all of the remaining colonists. More soldiers form two parallel lines from the ship to the square. Their guns in parade rest, and a lone figure strides down the center towards you. Ooh, hello. Look at this guy. What's up, Lum? You're a good-looking man. You're a fine-looking strapping lad. Greetings, fugitives of Earth, the man says, spreading his hands wide. You have villain energy, my dude. A dismayed murmur ripples through the crowd. The adults exchange significant looks. The chief engineer instance tries to slip out of the crowd, but she's stopped by the line of soldiers. The man smiles. I don't like this. This has real, I don't know if anybody watched the new Mad Max, the Furiosa one. But this is big Chris Hemsworth post-apocalypse, charming, evil shitbag kind of vibes. The man smiles. He has a broad, easygoing smile that doesn't match the threatening aura of the soldiers, nor the smoking ruin of the ship behind him. I'm Commander Lum, he says proudly. As captain of the Heliopause, I have come to render aid and bring you to justice. Let's listen, I guess. Seek steps forward out of the crowd. You're not the commander of the Heliopause, they say firmly. Governor Udicott was expecting Commander Morikawa. Everyone is surprised. Udicott had been in communication with the ship? For how long? I am captain of the Heliopause, Lum repeats stubbornly, then adds, according to the chain of command, we sustained significant loss of personnel when we went through the wormhole. You can't help but notice many of the soldiers exchanged looks this time. You wonder how many people had to die before Lum became commander. As the commanding officer, Lum continues, I declare this colony to be under our protection. As such, you are all now subject to the laws of Earth. Oh, the Klingon promotion method. This fucker definitely killed some people, like, during the wormhole chaos. He 100%, like, stabbed somebody with shrapnel and was like, oh my goodness, what a coincidence. The two people that were ahead of me in the chain of command are both dead. That's weird. There was no serious damage from in their quarters where they were resting during the wormhole transport. I don't know what to tell you. There's a big thing of there's a 2-foot spike through them right now. What are we gonna do? Anyway, someone fetch me a nice whiskey. Seek bows. Now, they stammer. There's no need for dramatics. We're a diminished colony, as you see. Governor Udicott died in the most recent attack, and Fluorescent passed away a few months ago. Even Technician Halitosis is gone. You see, we're quite leaderless. Wait, your mom? What would these Earth cops have wanted from your mom? You notice Chief Engineer Instance is being held with her arms behind her back. No. She's working on stuff. She's important. She glowers at Lum with unbridled hatred. Lum turns to the assembled colonists. Well, why don't we fix that, he declares. Say hello to your new governor. You hear a few gasps of shock and outrage, and Lum raises his hands placatingly. Let's not pretend you don't need our help, he says, and we could simply arrest you instead. But there's no need to demoralize your little colony further. Judging from the number of guns on display, you don't think we have a choice. What's his plan? He did not have a good landing. So, he arrests us to do what? He can't take us anywhere. He just locks us up in a ship? This is a hostile planet. You can't, you need able-bodied people to do work. Locking us away is not going to help your chances of survival. This guy's got this very punchable face, a very handsome, kissable, punchable face. I'm confused. No one knows how to react. I don't like him. I'm getting bad vibes. A new governor from Earth, nearly 100 new colonists. Whoa, most of them trained soldiers. What does this mean for the colony? The crowd disperses slowly, and the council members follow Lum back into the Heliopause, presumably to talk about the future of the colony. You hope. You track down your friends. So what do you think of these new people? Mars asks. I'm glad they're here to save us. I'm excited to make friends. They're just going to boss us around. I don't want to share this planet. I don't like them. Where's the bad vibes option? I don't mind sharing, Cal chimes in, but we don't really have anything left to share. We were already barely hanging on, and did you see what they did to the fields? They're all torn up even worse now. If they killed my, float cows and bristlebacks and stuff, I'm gonna, we're on bad terms already. The entire colony, our socks, if they killed socks, I'm going to feed them to every number of creature. The entire colony, now twice as many as you, sets to work on salvaging the wreckage of the Heliopause, tearing it down and combining it with the Stratospherics' remaining engine section. Spirits are high, though these new colonists from the Heliopause aren't like any people you've ever met before. With their uniforms and weapons, they're more like an invading force than a rescue. You aren't sure what this means for the colony. Or for your future. Okay. As the dust settles, you rebuild your colony around this new ship, the Heliopause. The new arrivals, soldiers mainly, are aloof at first. Many see you as fugitives. Together you build new walls, living quarters, greenhouses, and a massive bunkered garrison. The Stratos engineering wing is the only remainder of your own colony. The heliopause brought enough rations for another 5 years. Ooh. As well as a rich seed bank and working hydroponics. Okay, that's good news. Finally, an end to the slow starvation you felt for years. They also have more guns and explosives than you've ever seen in your life. Even the ship has guns. So maybe they can fight off that zipper mouth monster that we met last time. A full stomach, a roof over your heads, and the promise of safety convinces most Stratocolonists to accept the Helios. In turn, the Helios decides that you criminals pose little threat. A grudging peace is brokered between the two groups. You decide they aren't so different, really. They are even Helio children, born among the stars just like you. That's cool. After a month of hard work, I'm so nervous. I like it, but I don't like it. I'm extremely torn right now. You and your dad move into your new quarters. You have your own bedroom for the first time in your life. You place a picture of your mother on the shelves beside your bed. You step out into your very own balcony to watch the new colony. Its grounds bustling with so many strangers and strange new ideas. Colony defense up. Hey, we're no longer starving. That's pretty dope. And stressed down. You feel something rising in your chest that you haven't felt in some time. Hope. Excitement. What will the new day bring? You better get out there and find out. All right, let's do it. I feel like he's going to pull what the dad of some of the characters in Mass Effect 2 did. Strand a ship on an uninhabited planet and act as king. 100%. I 100% agree. He is only here for status and power. You got the right idea, Lemon. He couldn't give two shits about us. We exist purely to serve him and to benefit him and to extend his reach and gains and power. But hey, this person's cute. Hey, what's up? I like your design. Nami. You've seen Nami around since the heliopause landed. They're around your age and barely 1.5 meters tall, only coming up to your shoulder. You've never seen anyone dress as strangely as they do. I love their design. Pinks and blacks are some of my favorites. Hi, their voice is high-pitched and quick. I'm Nami. It's short for nomination. They do a little twirl and bow. You introduce yourself. So we learned about Nami. Let's ask about their gender. What's up? What? Oh yeah, I was happy when we landed, and I found out that you colonists have not boy and not girl people too. Sometimes people on the Helio didn't get it, but honestly, I grew up with them, so they kind of got used to it. I was always told growing up that your colony was kind of backwards and weird, and we'd probably find you all banging rocks together and grunting like cavemen. Imagine my surprise when I got here and you have, like, actual adult people who are like me. Wow. Anyway, you probably already know I use they and them, and Nami sure has their act together, and gosh, Nami is so cool. They have the unbeaten high score in Laser Fable for 2 years running. I doubt anyone could beat them. Ask her to calm down, extricate yourself politely, challenge them to a game. That sounds like fun. I want to play. You're on. Nami helps you install it on your holopalm and explains the rules. Laser Fable is an augmented reality game where you bounce holopalm lasers off real objects nearby. It's speed-based, so you're running around and bumping into each other, and there are extended house rules about when it's legal to block each other's lasers. Let's go. This seems fun. Goal 65. You can't come at me with that kind of energy. So let's try a 5. Ooh, plus 2, you say. Plus 2, you say. 5, 7. What if we do 5... A boom. Look at that. Using our freaking math skills. 25 in round 1 is freaking amazing. Alright, so let's check our options here. So we could just get a flat 7 like that. That's pretty cool. We could do a 4. 4... 5. 19's pretty good. 22 is also good. So yeah, we get 4 in a row right there. That's really nice. 6. How much work? How much work you doing there, huh? You doing a lot of work. You doing a lot of work. Okay. We'll take 22. All right. We can do 5. What about 3? 5. 5, 5, 4, 3, 0. That's pretty good. We get a straight. We get 2 of a pair. That 0 there doesn't really matter. I'm willing to accept that. Nice. And it was the best score we could have gotten. We are getting a little bit better at this game. Right on, brother. Nami gives you a high five, then a couple quick flicks on their gauntlet gives you a kudos for winning. They explain this is how they always play Laser Fable with the kids from the Heliosphere. Except they mostly don't want to play anymore. They say they're too old for it. They just want to be soldiers now. Except Rex. He's still cool. Cool. Let's go say hi to Rex. Are you Rex? The colony's full of new people. Everywhere you look, you see a stranger. It's disorienting. After growing up in a closed spaceship, you never expected to meet any other humans that weren't made here on Vertumna. Whoa, okay. Careful, furry people. Watch yourselves. Keep it in your pants. You bump straight into... Not talking to myself. You bump straight into one of these new people while you're jogging through the colony. Oof. He laughs and holds you steady, brushing the imaginary dust off of you and giving you a wide-fanged smile. Hey, it's one of the kids from the Heliopods. You think his name is Rex. Hi, hello, wow. Hey, what's up? Hey, I'm Popo. Welcome to Vertumna. Hey, what's up? You play it cool. Give him a little nod. You notice he's wiggling his dog ears. They can really move independently. Pleased to meet you, he says. I'm Rex. So he's got cool dog ear augmentations. Awesome. Rex puts his hand against his cheek, looking cute and lost. Hey, since I'm new here, do you think you could help me find the construction yard? I thought I might apply for a job there. It's in command that-a-way. I'll take you there. For you. Anything. Oh, we could flirt with him? Do we flirt? We might flirt. We haven't flirted with anybody yet, but I think we got to. You got to do it eventually. His eyes widen and he winks suggestively and he grins, wiggling his ears and lolling his tongue out like a dog. So adorable. I might just take you up on that, he says. You tell him everything is a bit changed since the Heliopods landed, but you think the construction yard is still near command. He thanks you for the directions. Nice. Nice. You got to flirt. You know, you got to have good things have to happen eventually. Ooh, you look cool too. What's up? This new boy, never mind. You look angry. You look angry at me. And not like the cool angry at me. Like the actually angry at me. This new boy from the Heliopods is a couple years older than you. He's very handsome, and the missing arm gives him a heroic battle-scarred vibe. He stands tall and ready for action, even though it's a normal, boring day. The other recruits milling around the garrison give him a wide, respectful berth. Oh, he must be like the son of Lum or something. He sees you staring and gives you a curt nod. My name is Vase, Lieutenant Olivasius, he says, considering you with a glint of challenge in his eye. And you are? How do you introduce yourself? I'm just a kid. I practically run this place. I'm a soldier. I'm into science. I'm an explorer. I'm a hard worker. I'm into science. His expression doesn't change. Is that right? He says, with the air of a boy who's hard to impress. Nice to meet you, Poble. I hear it's been a rough couple years for the colony. Lucky thing our Heliopods came along just in time, he continues. Don't worry, we have some of the best soldiers. The very best. We'll keep the colony safe. Are you one of those best soldiers? We train as a team, but, Vase says, then clears his throat. Yes, I've won more than my share of zero-G judo matches and virtual riflery tournaments, even competing against adults. I bet I could take you. Being planet-side is totally different. Wow, you're pretty cool. No. This guy seems like he licks boots for fun. It's a little different here. You tell Vase that firing a virtual gun is nothing compared to running for your life through the jungle while a wild unisaur hunts you down. A unisaur, Vase says, leaning forward a little. His eyebrows raised. Did you actually say something to interest him? That sounds like a fun sport. I'd like to try it sometime. No, you are not going to kill my precious xenofauna, you fuck. Wow, we do have a lot more space. There's a lot going on here now. So, okay, so our engineering wing's over here. Relaxation over here. All right, let's talk to Tange. What's up? Tange looks as if she hasn't shed a tear since the day she was born. The engineering wing escaped the attack relatively unscathed, she says. We still have our power and shelter, but more importantly, we have our knowledge. Here, I have something for you. Yeah, let's give her a root. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, same thing as before. Thanks, Tange. What's up, Cal? You pass a group of soldiers from the helipods leaving the garden. One of them eyes you with disdain, but the rest ignore you. Inside, Cal is scowling as he rakes up a planting bed. His expression softens when he sees you, but not by much. Hey, Popo, he says, did you see those jerks? They're always sniffing around here, trying to start a fight with me. I think their leader's that mouthy kid, Vase. I knew Cal and I would agree that Vase seems like a big old dick. He leans one arm on his rake. Whatever, joke's on them. I ain't gonna play their little soldier games. Hell yeah, Cal. Let's be cool together. What's up, an enemy? I don't know if I'm gonna do anything for Vertumnalia this year. Oh, because, yeah, Calm's gone. She says, crossing her muscular arms. I know Calm wouldn't want me to stop just because of him, but it doesn't feel right. I agree. I'm sorry, an enemy. All right, Mars, what are you up to? Oh, hey, Popo, Mars says, breezing past you. I'm sorry, I can't talk now. I'm on my way to work in command. She stops when you don't sound amazed enough. You know, the supply depot, she clarified. It's the most important job in the whole colony. Anything that gets made here goes through me first. Mars' smug smile gets somehow even more smug. Plus, I get first pick of all the Bell stuff. Wow, Mars, that's amazing. Go straight to Seek and ask for a job. Wow, that's amazing. You lay it on really thick. How Mars is just so cool. How everything she does is totally great, and how she's obviously the most important person in the colony. You're going to start a Mars fan club in her honor. She just laughs. Nice try, Popo, but thanks for the compliments. Then she just leaves, without even offering to help get you a job. Drat. Sucking up to Mars didn't work? What's next? Having to actually ask for what you want? Ugh. Maybe you could ask again later. Alright, so there's something there. I think that's the command center. Dis, what's up with you? Maybe we deserved it, Dis mutters. The new ship didn't save us. It just delayed the inevitable. When their food and weapons run out, we'll be back where we started. Didn't they learn anything? Probably not. They don't look like the learning type. They look like the shooting type. Ooh, let's grab this egg. And let's talk to our dad. What's up, Dad? Even though it hurts, you find yourself wandering over to geoponics. It feels not good to be here, and the place your mom loved and ultimately gave her life to, but not good either. Feels like when you have a bruise and you can't stop yourself from pushing on it because the pain reminds you the injury is real. Like your mom dying is this huge invisible wound, and poking at it forces you to feel something instead of just being numb. Your dad is taking time off of work. Your parents worked double and triple shifts during the last growing season, and now that it's over, it just feels so cruel. When people work hard, they should be able to look back on what they did and feel proud. Instead, there's just this huge gap where your mom should be. You find your dad sitting in your mom's personal garden. It's miraculously started to grow again, despite being trampled flat during the last attack and neglected during the famine before that. Still, various Vertumnan flowers are starting to sprout, as well as hardier earth ones like dandelions. Your dad looks up and musters a smile. He pats the bench beside him. I want to talk to my dad. You false start a few times. It's almost impossible to think of something to say when there's this magnitude of grief between you. He gives you time. When it's obvious that you want to talk, but don't know what to say, he takes your hand in his two larger ones. Did I ever tell you about how your mom and I started dating? You shake your head. You know they grew up together in the first colony on Earth, but nothing about their relationship. Oh, this should be a good story. They're so different. He smiles and looks at the garden as he remembers. I always thought she was too cool for me, he says quietly. Things were, well, people didn't like us much on Earth, so she was always kind of a bruiser, always ready to pop off, even when she was your age. She and Rhett were the same back then, he reminisces. I always thought they were going to end up together. Then your mom got injured when the first colony was attacked. I guess that's how she lost her leg. I was working part-time in the clinic, and I guess that's when she realized I liked her. We had to apply to get on the stratospheric, he continues. We'd only been seeing each other a few weeks, so I was surprised when she said we should apply as a couple. They wanted all different kinds of family groups, single people, couples who could have kids or couldn't, triads, quads, but we all had to be young, and there weren't many teenagers willing to commit to being a, mated pair. It upped our chances of being picked. He laughs and scrubs his face with his hands. She wanted to get off that planet more than anything. I don't think she realized she'd fallen in love with me until we were already in space, he says wryly. Lucky for me, right? Your dad shakes his head fondly. There aren't many people like your mom, kiddo. You nod, surprised to feel a tear trickle down your cheek. There's so much you don't know about her and what she was like, more than just being your mom. It's really hitting you that she was a person before you knew her, and now you'll never know her like that. There's a past you'll never fully know, just like there's a future that she never will. Your dad puts an arm around your shoulders, and you sit like that for a long, long while. Oh, Dad. Like every pollen season, your dad gets the shimmer. The pollen is bad this year, thick, heavy clouds of pink. Even your eyes are a little itchy, and your dad's not the only colonist spending the week in bed. You can hear other people sneezing as you walk through the quarters, bringing him hot trivet soup. Thanks, kiddo, your dad rasps as he's sitting up in bed now. Your mom never got sick. Not ever, your dad reminisces. I'm not sure she missed a day of work from the day we landed here until she... He stops and sighs. I miss your mom. I wish Instance could find a cure already, he grumbles, his hand shaking as he lifts his spoon. 3 years and all she can suggest is bed rest and fluids. What good is all her researching if I can't fix my headache? Your dad must be feeling really sick. He never complains about stuff. You check his temperature with your hollow palm, then dim the lights and bring him a cold pack for his forehead. He has a crust of glittery pink gunk around his lips. If my dad dies too, I'm going to uninstall this game. Looking cracked and gross, so you wipe it away. The glitter is just everywhere on him, like it's coming right out of his pores. He looks iridescent in the murky light filtering through the pollen outside. Hey, do you mind opening the window a little for some fresh air? It smells like a sick person in here, he grumbles, pushing away his soup and rolling over in the bed. Oh, but what if this endangers him? Because he's always doing things that'll make his health worse. And what if this lets in more pollen and he gets more sick? The pollen might already be everywhere already, but there's no sense making it worse. You pretend to crack the window for him, and by the time you look over, he's asleep again. The worst of the pollen fog subsides in a few days, and your dad starts to look a little better. He gets back to work, which is good, because there's a lot to do in order to rebuild the colony and get the heliopause's hydroponics up and running. You're still sweeping glittering dust out of your quarters weeks later. That stuff gets everywhere. Okay. I'm glad you're all right, Dad. I can't do this alone. Can't do this without you. Let's see if there's anyone else to talk to before we move on. Ooh, another mushwood. That's nice. What are our options? Can we explore? Ooh, we could forage in the valley. That's kind of nice. Survey the plains. Okay, explore nearby. Maybe we do some more foraging. Get us some perception. We could survey the plains too. That gives us animals. That's nice. Riley, you were just out, bud. Let's go hydroponics. Or not hydroponics. Let's go back to the geoponics. We can go back to tending the animals. Geoponics is abuzz with activity. Repairs to the domes are underway, the fields are being replanted, and hydroponics from the heliopause are being installed. Let's tend to our animals. You're working with the bristle slugs this week. There's a whole herd of the slug, seal, porcupine beasts lumbering through the fields and rubbing against their scratching posts. You can walk right up to them, and they don't mind at all. You empty the berry-catching buckets and sort through the berries, picking out loose stones and planting any that have sprouted. Those ones will grow into bushel slugs too one day. Oh, that's cool. They're plant and animal combined. Love it. It's not wet season when they're fully bristled and cranky about territory, so everyone is playing nice. It's a nice, calm month of picking berries and scritching slugs. You spend some time playing with the cutie bristle slugs you found while foraging. Emerald. That's right, that's the one we found. Yay! She's looking bright-eyed and happy. You come back from lunch one day to find the door to the pen wide open. Oops, you must have forgotten to lock it. Good thing bristle slugs don't tend to roam. You do a head count, 15, 16, 17. Seem to be short one bristle slug. At least it's not Emerald. She's relaxing in the pen, happily snoring away. Luckily, bristle slugs aren't very stealthy. There's one glistening slime trail leading towards the ruins of the stratospheric, decorated with little clusters of berries. You lock the gate and set off along the trail to find your wayward bristle slug. Track it down. Ooh, we got enough animal points to track it down ourselves. Let's do it. You easily find the bristle slug. It's gotten itself wedged between two panels, scritching back and forth on the most perfect scratching situation possible. You laugh and fill your shirt with the berries like a bowl, then gently nudge it back toward the herd. It's slow going, but eventually everyone's back together again. Good work, Rancher. All right, we get bonuses to pairs, and we only need a goal of 30. That's not too bad. So we can do that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. What if we do 5, 5, 6, 2, 2. 35. Let's frickin' go. Super goal. Yeah, this seems pretty good. Got our 5s together, got our 2s together, got a 6 right here for extra points. I don't see what adding a 0 or a 3 would do. I'll win. +5 to animals, some empathy. Oh, that's right. We really need empathy. Kudos and stress. Excellent. Good job, us. We're gonna get things back working again. Do 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 do. I like this song. I need to familiarize myself more with the soundtrack. I really like it, so I want to get more of it. Anybody got anything to say, huh? Not you, fuck. What's down here? Oh, that's the new training. Okay, that's the new security station. Got it, got it, got it. Anybody got anything to say? Ooh, Cal. What's up, Cal? You had plans to hang out with Cal today, but when you arrive at the geoponics dome, it's worryingly dark inside. You fumble around in the red emergency lighting until all the lights come back on with a heavy ka-chunk of a breaker being flipped. You blink into the sudden blinding light until the figures of Cal and Chief Engineer Instance resolve themselves in your vision. Absolutely no more of that, young man. Instance scolds Cal as he cradles his hoverboard in his arms. The power grid is not your plaything. I understand, Auntie, Cal says. I'm sorry. Instance mutters to herself as she passes you. Honestly, all this over a toy. Hey, dude, Cal greets you. Sorry, I meant to meet you outside after work, but... He looks down at his hoverboard. My board wouldn't start, and I figured it was maybe out of juice, but when I plugged it in, it threw off all these sparks, and then the whole power grid shut down. Cal's shoulders slump. I was going to ask Dr. Instance to take a look at it, but she told me she doesn't have time to fix a dumb toy. Ooh, sorry, my engineering is a sucks. I'm sorry, Cal, I can't fix it. That sucks. Yeah, it's just, Cal rubs his eyes. We've only got a few things left from when we were kids, you know? Everything else is broken or gone or dead. It's always kind of sad when a piece of old technology needs to be retired, but Cal seems to take this one harder than most. He hugs the hoverboard to his chest and excuses himself, not wanting to hear your goodbye. Not waiting to hear. Excuse me. Sorry, Cal. What's up with you? Ooh, okay, so they're a creative type. We do not have enough creativity to hang out with Nami Nami. It's so cool you guys have people who aren't boys or girls too, Nami says, twisting a long piece of their hair around their finger. Mom and Dad told me that sometimes people on Earth didn't understand stuff like that, and your shift left before us, so maybe it was even worse? They give you a bright smile, but they were worried for nothing. Everyone's so nice here. What about you, Rex? What does he do? He's an engineering guy. Cool. Okay. That sucks for us. Because we're never going to be able to bond about that. Rex hasn't gotten used to life on the surface yet. You remember your first year, Vertumnus seemed so enormous, so full of dangers and mysteries. Well, it still does, but the shock eventually wore off. Rex still has that slightly bewildered look on his face every time he walks outside and the sunlight hits his face. It's so bright and warm. Hugs incoming. I'm giving this guy a hug. Rex throws his arms wide. Coach, I'm open. He laughs, catching you as you throw yourself into his arms. He spins you around and growls into your neck, squeezing you tightly. Ooh. It's a good hug, the kind that makes you instantly just a little more relaxed. Let's, Dad, how you doing? You okay? So, help with the animals at 80. We can get a new card. Your dad is doing some maintenance on your mom's private garden. I can't believe she put some native plants in here, he says, wiping his face with the back of his wrist. We used to argue all the time about wasting geoponics resources on them, but look here. He shows you where some green vines are climbing up the same trellis as a bobber fruit. Even she was coming around. Nice. Let's see. Toughness is pretty close to an upgrade. Combat's close to an upgrade. Empathy's close to an upgrade. Let's try to go for some empathy, and then maybe some toughness after that. Plan our month here. Let's do some more animals. You're pulling weeds in the garden when you hear raised voices coming from the barn. Socks' barn. No socks. Uh-oh, Cal. What's wrong? Cal is standing in front of the doors, blocking Vase from entering. What do you mean I can't go in there? Vase spits. This colony has top secret clearance now? You just can't, okay? Cal sputters. Vase tries to get around him, but Cal wedges himself between Vase and the door again. Why do you even need to, anyway? Vase shoves Cal hard. I'm on patrol, nullhead. I don't give a shit what's in the barn. All of a sudden, I care a lot about why you don't want me in there. Cal shoots you a look of pure fear. Socks must be out of her box. What do? Or our only option is to slip around and let Socks out. Thank goodness we have just enough perception. You sneak around to the other side of the barn and unlatch the window. Socks raises her head at the strange sound, and you beckon her to make a break for it. Whoa! Whoa, she looks so different now. Socks shoots past you, and she's huge. And get a good look at that. You're buffeted as she pulls her long body out through the window and clatters up the side of the barn to the roof. You panic. Someone's going to see her. We've got animal points. No Socks. Come down and hide. You whisper and gesture to the shelter of the barn wall. She tilts her head as you crawl at you and crawls back down the wall, sticking easily to it with her feet. There must be 10 pairs of them now at least. Socks curls up beside you, her great big dinosaur head in your lap. Through the window, you hear the sound of Vase searching the barn. You hold your finger to your lips in a shushing motion at Socks. You hope she understands. After a few tense minutes, you hear the barn door close and the sound of Vase's boots crunching down the garden path. Socks slithers her great body through the window again, and you go around front to meet Cal. Cal closes the barn door and heaves a sigh of relief. That was close, he mutters, wiping his forehead. Ugh. Did you know you can still stress sweat even if you're always the right temperature? He leans his back against the door. It's getting harder to keep Socks a secret, he admits. There's so many people here now, and she looks like that. Socks curls up and rests her great big head on Cal's lap, looking up at him with an adoring expression. He rubs her nose and scritches behind her frill. When you saw that wild diddly pillar eating those rocks, what did it look like, he asks. You tell Cal what you remember of the great beast, that even from a distance you could tell it was at least as long as the whole colony wall. That it ate boulders like soy sweets. Back when Socks was a baby caterpillar, you almost didn't recognize them as the same species, but looking at her now, you know that she's got the blood of dragons in her. Cal bites his lip. I was afraid you'd say that, he says softly. What are we going to do? We're going to do our damn best, I guess. Let's see. We got to get a 23. This is not a great hand. I mean, that wins. Is this the best? So that puts our 4s together. That's good. What if we do that? That's a 26. That's a 25. That's probably the best because we got the 4s together. We got those together. This is locked, so there's literally nothing we can do there. I think this is it. Nice. You worked well. +1 animal point. What's our animal at? 61. Ooh, we're close to another upgrade. Nice. Right. I think we can do one more of those. That'll give us a big boost in empathy and almost enough for animals, and then we can do something else to boost the animals in toughness the next month. Yeah. Things are working out. We've got plans. The math is mathing. The numbers are numbering. Everything's looking up. Whee! Anybody want to talk? Anybody? Our stress levels aren't too high. All right, I think we're just going to go straight back to working with our animals. Coming in for another. Do we want to come out to the? How many hugs do we give this guy? At least one more. Again, Rex laughs, but wraps you up in a great big hair. Okay, so he's saying the hugs are getting a little too much. I don't know. You don't know what kind of guy he is. He's like part dog, and all dogs want are his attention. So it's hard to say. Let's do some more animals. An unusual face greets you as you enter the barn. Tangent looks terribly out of place here, crisp, white, and clean in among all the mud and excrement. She's clearly hesitant to even take a step further in, and winces when you wheel up to her with your wheelbarrow of muck destined for the compost heap. Popo, I've come to see what good work you've done here, she says. Really good work. I can see that. Bristleslug lows from its pen and Tange clears her throat. It's too bad most of Vertumnan animals are so violent, she says, lowering her voice. She nods approvingly to the Bristleslug pen. If only they could all be tamed like this. Do you have a point, Tange? Of course I do, she huffs. It's called making conversation. I'm here on behalf of Chief Engineer Instance. She continues. We need access to these Bristleslugs. What for? Cal says, popping his head up from one of the stalls. It better not be for any weird experiments. For your information, it is for experiments, Tange retorts. Important ones, too. More important than whatever you're doing. We need living Vertumnan creatures to incubate a new antivenom, she says. I need samples. Skin, hair, blood, flesh, eggs, teeth. Cal throws his rake to the ground. What? He exclaims. No way. I'm not letting you take their teeth. What's wrong with you? Tange rolls her eyes. Oh, like you can't just breed more, she says. Or just capture them. There's a whole planet full of animals out there, isn't there? She turns to you. Popo, come on. If we develop a new antivenom, it'll keep our explorers safe. I'll even name it after you. Or him. Whatever. She sticks her tongue out at Cal, who scowls. Let's ask Dad. You tell your dad about Tange's request, and his face goes carefully blank. Oh, Pumpkin. Thank you for telling me, he says evenly. You go on. Get back to work. I'll give Chief Engineer Instance a ring and sort it out. You step outside and duck around the corner, straining to hear his conversation. It's one-sided and too muffled to pick out every word, but you can tell he's really angry. Not only does Tangent never come back for her samples, but you get the sense that the relations between your dad and Instance have really soured. Geoponics probably won't be helping engineering for a while. What's going on over there in engineering? I can understand where they're coming from, but I bet there was a better way to work it. Ooh, let's see. +2 to that. We could do a 5 and a 3. Ooh, a 7. That's nice. That's real nice. Is there any way to make this work a little better? Ooh, hello. That is a good score. 3, 3, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure if it could get better than that. putting 3 4s to like, yeah, this has got to be it. It wasn't. Wow. Yeah, that's what I get for not trying. It's all right. We got our points in empathy. We're going to get plenty of animal points. Like, it's okay. Oh, we only needed 1 more. Okay, that's fine. And we got friendship with Cal, so that's good. Let's see what our empathy point gets us. New perk, baby. Empathy level spa. Pay to remove cards in the core. Ooh, that's really good. There's so much shit that we have that I don't want anymore. So much baby shit. So much baby time. We don't want baby stuff here. All right. I'm going to actually go ahead and let off now. I got a little bit of extra work to prepare getting the kids ready to pick up from school and pick up my wife. So I'd like to just have a little bit more wiggle room. But thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with me for the Dice Folk and for this. I appreciate it always, no matter what. Let's see. Let me see if there's anybody to raid. Do I have any friends who are in the business of being raided? Do I have any? Oh, Missy's on. Nyx is on. I don't know who you are. Give me my friends. I don't want to hang out with people I don't know. Why would I want that? Why is it hard to find the people that I like? This is ridiculous. All right, anybody playing Dice Folk? That's not Dice Folk. That is noticeably not Dice Folk. We don't need to raid anybody. It doesn't need to happen. All right, guys. I love you all very much. Let's save real quick. The dog days are over, but dog days are here. Dog boy days. There we go. All right. I'll check you guys later. Feel free to hang out in Discord. We'll be talking around in there for the weekend. And then I'll see you on Monday for more of this. And then Wednesday for more Dice Folk, I guess. I guess that's it. I love you all very much. Please be kind to yourselves. Love yourselves. Do something nice for yourself for the weekends. You've most certainly earned it. Bye.